It's all about you. It's all about you, Harry. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Do you know you sung that to me once in India? Do you remember?
I do. We were playing cricket.
We were playing cricket, and I was batting. I was having a good innings, and Chris started. Everyone watching got them singing "It's All About You, Harry." It was a very proud
You're
moment.
a very good cricket player, aren't you?
I mean, I'm good, yeah. Oh, wow, God, that sounds awful. No, I played a lot when I was younger, and I wasn't quite good enough to turn pro, but I did love it.
No, he's a proper cricketer. I can confirm he's a proper cricketer. We go back a while, don't we now?
We go way back.
Jeez.
Yeah, way
20
back.
odd years, maybe.
21 years. 21 years, probably in a month or two. You came 21 years ago, probably around July. You came to a rehearsal studio in London. It was the first famous person I'd met. And we were playing these little showcases to people. And we were, like a group of 10 would come in every day, maybe 4 or 5 groups a day. And then suddenly one day, Chris Evans walks in and we're like, oh my God, it's Chris Evans. Yeah, Dougie was 15 at the time. I was 17. But I remember you stood there smiling away, nodding your head.
It was great,
and
man.
you enjoyed it.
And it's been great ever since. It's funny because every time I see you, I think, oh, there's my new mate Harry. It feels like that. But we have known each other literally for the whole of your career, most of mine. So it's great, isn't it?
It is.
And the last time we met was just 5 days ago in a tent at the start of the London Marathon, 4 days ago. Goodness me, it was only 4 days ago.
How are you guys feeling?
Feel great, man.
Feel good, yeah. Today I feel good. I was on the Lime bike on the way here.
Yeah, you were on the bike. I've been on the bike the last couple of days. Vassos was with his minion outfit. Tell Harry about your story about the face recognition thing.
So you'll have had the email from.
I've done it. I couldn't believe the face recognition.
So from Marathon Photos. So they send you, here are your marathon photos. Press this link, and you do, and they take you to a page. And what you have to do then is click that you allow your phone to take your photograph, and then they take you have a selfie right there, and then all your photos come up.
Yes.
That doesn't work if you ran it in a massive minion costume. And there's no other way of searching.
But you couldn't take a selfie, obviously, because you didn't have your minion costume at home.
The only option was to take a selfie, so I thought, well, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing because I was getting these photos where I was like, I'm not in that. And then I realised I was on the screen being interviewed at the end. This tiny pixelated version of my face. It's incredible.
So, Sheeb Ratio, who we know, he runs the marathon, so we can
run the marathon.
Yeah, by the way, you can still enter. The ballot's open till tomorrow, tcslondonmarathon.com. She's always trying to make it better. And so what's funny is you don't know, do you, until you launch something, what's wrong with it, which is why it's really important to put things out there. Like, Tilly and Felix's new Taylor Swift Tour of London company they've got going called Tay Tours. They were going to call it something else. They put it out there. Tay Tours gets all the green lights, gets all the ticks. What are you going to call it, Tills? You were going to call it... London Taylor Swift tours with Tilly and Felix, which is good, but I think Tay Tours is probably better. And the thing is, with this particular option or facility, she will not. The team clearly didn't think, oh, what about people who wear fancy massive hoods? So it's good. You should tell them.
Well, Joel, who ran as the winning character from
Masked Singer,
which
Danny, my bandmate, won. Yes, he ran as Piranha.
Yeah,
amazing.
He wouldn't work for him either.
No, absolutely not.
Can I just say hats off or heads off to Joel Dommett, because Joel Dommett really was running on Sunday in that massive piranha head outfit. Now, it could have been anyone. And so, but that was Joel Dommett underneath there. And so, he was a celeb, but nobody knew it was him. I think that's the opposite of celeb behaviour.
I know. I said to him before, you're going to just take the face thing off.
Yeah.
But no, I trained with Joel a lot, actually, for the marathon. We ran together a lot at Bushy Park. I obviously caught up with him afterwards, and it was, unsurprisingly, a real challenge.
He's going to Amsterdam too. He wants to break 3 hours in Amsterdam too. And you just said that's what you want to do. So we've
become running friends.
Yeah.
I told him about Amsterdam and he's signed up.
We have Amsterdammed.
We are going to Amsterdam it together. You've done it.
We've done the Amsterdam Marathon.
Tell me about it.
Oh, it's great. It's great because basically the River Amstel.
Yes.
So it's mostly up and down that.
Amazing.
And they have these barges that are DJ barges. So there's floating discos all the way along. It's great.
Do you start in the stadium, Olympic Stadium?
No, you finish in the stadium.
There. Okay,
you
great.
finish in the stadium. It's so cool, man. Well, Amazing. What a great place to go and run a marathon. All right, come on. What was your time?
It was 3:23.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Control room round of applause for 3:23.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It's all about you.
That's very kind.
Sorry, they don't know the words. It's a McFly song.
I'm getting to that stage in my career where there are people in the industry now that don't know McFly. That's how old I am.
They should McFly off is what they
That's
should do.
how old I am, guys.
So well done, sir. And Joel dressed as a piranha. What's his time?
He was 5:15, I think.
He overtook me at the beginning, and then I overtook him at the end. By the way, it's no big deal because he had this really heavy head on.
He's a good runner, though. He wants to go close to 3 for Amsterdam as well.
All right, so you're going together?
We're going to go together, running friends.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Is it still sponsored by
Mizuno? Yeah, I think
okay.
it is, yeah.
So Mizuno, we thought Mizuno made golf clubs. They do, but they were the first ever commercial running shoe back in like the 1920s or something like that.
Really? I saw our friend
They're
Graham
the oldest
from
running
Mizuno.
brand.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're great. They're really, they really mean it, the running.
Okay. Cool.
Did Joel tell you the story about when he first ran in the Piranha in Brighton?
No. He invited me down, but I couldn't go. What happened?
So that's where all the costumes get kept.
Yes.
So he gets the costume and he thinks, I better take it for a test drive before the London Marathon. So he goes down and he starts running in Brighton dressed as Piranha. But he times it for school chucking out time. So he was like a giant piranha Pied Piper. All these school kids following him around the lanes of Brighton.
That's classic.
But not knowing it was Joel underneath.
Yeah, exactly.
Even better.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you know Danny was in the show?
I did, yeah, I did. I don't think I was supposed to, but he was.
He can't help himself.
I know he can't help himself. Mate, I'm not supposed to tell you, but I think he wanted to know what I thought, and I was like, you have to do that. Like, Danny, as a lot of people know, he has an incredible voice, but I think for some reason, he just hasn't really had the credit he deserves. And to go out there on a show like that and purely be judged for your voice. And none of the people, the judges, Davina, none of them got it. And I think that's because they don't think the word McFly. I think they think, oh no, it can't be. Because he was incredible. Anyone that's watched it, he was incredible. And I was so pleased for him. Yeah, because he's one of the best.
And you're in rehearsals at the moment because you're going to where, when?
We're going to Brazil next Tuesday.
Oh, to be a rock star.
Yeah, that's
Brazil on Tuesday. What do you do next Tuesday, Vassos?
It's date day.
Yeah, date day.
We might go to Richmond Park.
Yeah, okay. I have a massage, bit of physio on a Tuesday, which is pretty good. I'm not complaining, but I'm not going to Brazil for a massage. Yeah, that's for sure. So Brazil loves you. You love Brazil.
Yes, we have a long love affair with Brazil. We first went out there in 2008, and this was before social media, so we didn't really know how big our following was. We didn't even know we had a following, but a promoter out there put this risk and kind of booked these shows for us. And we arrived at the airport and there was like 500 fans there. We were up on billboards. We got on a taxi to the hotel and our song came on the radio. And obviously before social media, we wouldn't been aware of that. So, and then suddenly we're doing these big venues and it was just carnage. It was more intense than anything we'd experienced in the UK. I mean, it was amazing people out there, very passionate South Americans, like literally climbing on the cars. We had to have so many security, like literally it felt like, kind of like what One Direction experienced for the whole career. You open the window of the hotel and there's like just the roads just full of people and crazy.
Is it fair to say that you have a lovely level of fame? Because obviously One Direction, and Harry Styles absolutely smashing. Yes, but literally can't go anywhere.
Yeah, well, I've always said that when people ask, and they're interested, understandably, but it's really not. I'm not. It's a good level, like you said. I might get people going, oh, I think that might be the guy from McFly, or during the marathon there was a lot of, because I had Harry written on my vest. A lot of people go, hey, go Harry. Oh, wait, this is McFly.
You're gone.
So, yeah, it's great. Every now and again you meet like a really passionate McFly fan, which is always lovely to meet. But apart from that, it's really not that bad.
So we have lots of people who ran with us at the weekend showing interest in running again next year, and they pay loads of money to run with us. And so we're going to hopefully facilitate that, and then we'll put other places up for auction as well and raise as much money as we can. And it's the easiest money we raise because we just love doing it. I mean, we love doing everything we do, but Carfest takes a lot of work, and Gig in the Garden we've got coming up with James Blunt at our house. It's all great, don't get me wrong, it is all the fun, but it's a load of work. Running the marathon, there are a few commitments, but they're all joyous. They're all totally joyous. The pasta party the night before, we have it at Murano in Angela Hartnett's Michelin star restaurant. Then we go for a curry afterwards. Then we all meet in that tent where we met you, and it's all so fun. But next year, they can bid all they want. But if they don't agree to have the name Eileen on the front of their shirts, they can't, it doesn't matter how much they offer to bid, because we want to be the common Eileens. So we've all got to be an Eileen. So if you're bidding for a place in the London Marathon and or prior to that, to be an Eileen. So it's Team Eileen. Come on, Eileen.
I like it.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's great. So much to talk to you about. You've got this big announcement. We're going to play a song. You got a big announcement coming up. Mm-hmm. Very excited.
Very exciting.
Okay, here we go. Teddy swims. Stay tuned. Harry has a huge announcement next. All right, Harry Judd is with us. Harry, what are you here to talk about primarily?
I'm here to talk about, Chris, Copperfield. So, as you may know, Copperfield go on these epic treks, and I have had the honour to be asked to captain one of the teams. I'm going to the Brecon Beacons, and I'll be trekking 100 kilometres with a team in 5 days, raising awareness, raising some money, and I'm sure also hearing some incredibly inspiring stories, and hopefully having an amazing time.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Copperfield is the UK's first and only breast cancer charity for young people. They aim to educate, encourage and empower young people to get to know their bodies and check their boobs, pecs and chests regularly. This includes delivering nearly 400 school talks and sending over 1 million free text reminders every year. So it's prescriptive, it's preemptive, it's exactly what you need to vanquish any kind of cancer. Copperfield presents Copper Trek, begins Saturday, June 8th. For more info and to donate, head to coppertrek-brecon-beacons.copperfield.org. It's fantastic. So this isn't your first involvement with Copperfield?
It's not, no. Giovanna, who you guys know, Giovanna Fletcher, she's been involved right from the start, I think, and she texted me, called me a couple of months ago and said, did I want to get involved? My bandmate Tom's done the trek, Matt Willis has done the trek, and I've finally been drafted in. So, and we've done a gig as well for Copperfield before. So yeah, as you listed out there, all the reasons why it's such an amazing charity, and yeah, delighted to be asked and can't wait to get involved.
All right, so it's 100k, so 62 miles precisely.
Yep.
So it's technically an ultra. Have you ultraed before?
I have not ultraed. No. Does it count as an ultra though? If you, yeah, okay.
100%. If it's anything longer than a marathon, it's an ultra, which is in fact a marathon, because we know the London Marathon isn't 26.2 miles. It is end to end, but everybody runs further than that.
Yeah, I ran 43k.
Yeah. You run about half a mile more.
You do.
Yeah. I do. 2.9 for me.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's going to be an epic challenge. I mean, it's obviously we're not running, but it's hiking up some pretty big mountains. And I've heard obviously Brecon Beacons is absolutely stunning. So I'm looking forward to it.
8th of June, you should be all right. It can get pretty hairy, can't it?
We've got a gig, with James Arthur. And I'm getting off stage and going straight to the Brecon Beacons and then trekking for 5 days straight.
How times have changed.
I know.
It's so funny, isn't it?
I know.
Because we had a not drinking chat in the tent, didn't we?
We have, yeah. I've been a non-drinker for a while now. And you how long have you been?
Nearly a year. June 3rd we're coming up to. Yeah. And I'm loving every second of it. On Monday morning, I felt so different. I wasn't broken from the marathon. I thought, this feels so different. Is it because I'm fitter? And I realised it's because after every marathon, I've just gone out on the lash.
Yeah.
Mini lash nowadays.
Mini lash, yeah.
But nevertheless, dehydrated, running your heart out, and the next thing you have is pints and pints of Guinness because it's healthier. Well, it's healthier. It's not actually healthy.
Well, see, I remember when going back to India, I was 19 and I was always just blown away by how much you could drink. You guys every night in the bar and you'd have like 5-6 pints and I'd think, how are you, and I actually quit drinking. It's coming up to 13 years for me. So
congratulations.
Yeah, I can be double smug, running and not drinking.
Smugathon.
You can be really annoying to people. But yeah, the positives definitely outweigh the negatives.
Did you have a moment?
What's that?
Did you have a moment when you decided?
I did, yeah. I think for me it was actually the post effect of drinking.
Exactly the same.
I was struggling. It was the mental health side of things. I was struggling with anxiety, and drink was just making it way worse, particularly the next day. And I was really suffering with panic attacks, and I just couldn't. I mean, I just thought, why would I want to put myself through this?
Yeah, the fear plus.
Oh God, it was horrendous. And so I stopped drinking and haven't really looked back. And actually, Dougie, my bandmate, around the same time, he stopped drinking.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. We had fun beforehand.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Left nothing on the pitch.
Too much fun.
I can still smell it. It was only like a minute ago in comparison to what you did. But I'm loving it. And I'm never say never and all this kind of stuff and no judgment and all that. But just for me, life is sweet now, man.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. I love
Also,
it.
I have 3 children, and I don't know how you can function with alcohol and children.
You can't. You can't turn up for them, but also turn up for yourself first and foremost. Interesting. You have just let us in on another Vassosism, haven't you? This is a classic. By the way, listen to this, everyone.
Do you want to hear?
Well, yeah, please, if you don't mind.
No, I was listening to the radio, Virgin Radio, and I got very excited because you guys started talking about Rugby Aid and the story about the time Vassos heard about What 3 Words, the amazing app that can lead you to a 3-meter squared location anywhere in the world. And Vassos had met someone on the bus in Rugby Aid in 2015 whose friend had started this company, and that person had told them. And in fact, that person was Louis Spence, wasn't it, Vassos?
Yeah. So Louis Spence and I were on the bus on the way to training one day, and he told me about this new thing that was going to come called What 3 Words.
Yes, What 3 Words, incredible app. And I was listening, screaming at the radio. Vassos, that was not Louis Spence, that was me.
I mean, okay. Let's put a pin in that for a second. There's so many questions, Vassos. Right? How can you confuse Harry for Louis Spence?
I mean, they were both on the bus. We were having the conversation. The 3 of us were having the chat.
And yeah, I do remember it clearly. Louis is an absolute legend. I really connected.
Of course. No problem with that at all.
No, really connected with him on that on those bus journeys. But I felt like I was maybe being really interesting in that moment and had Vassos's attention, had him engaged, telling him a story he'd never forget.
Years, mate. Years. Whoa.
Here's the thing. Was it because you were telling us about What 3 Words, and Louis was particularly excited about it because he was always having trouble explaining to people where he lived because he lives somewhere.
Lives in the countryside.
Remote. Yes.
In Essex. And he was saying, oh my God, this is amazing because post never gets to me. Taxis can never find me. And yeah, you are right, Vassos. I got forgotten about, but that's fine. That's fine.
Yes, your story in the first place.
Yes, sorry, but you had Chris Sheldrick, the guy who started it, on. And Chris is my wife's family, like my brother-in-law's best friend. So I was in the pub with Chris in 2011 and he told me about this idea he had, literally jaw to the floor, and I was like, that's the best idea I've ever heard.
Can it possibly be that simple? Will it really work? Answer yes and yes. Harry, have you been asked to go on Who Dares Wins? The SAS thing?
I think I might have been,
I was going to say, because they emailed me yesterday asking me, and it's a hard no from me. Shall I give them your email?
It's actually a hard no from me.
Is it? Right,
yeah,
good. It's not just me then.
But we were talking about the jump, right?
Yes.
I've heard similar things. It's really hard. I think 5 years ago I would have maybe been in.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, do you know what? I don't think I want that in my life.
Yeah.
I think I might find the interrogation stuff just a bit intense.
Yeah, and I'm 100 years older than you, so I definitely don't want it in my life. I'm so, the emails, it's really persuasive, this immersive, life-changing thing other celebs have said, their lives have never been the same again, all for the better. Just jump on a Zoom call and we'll discuss it further. No! No! And the way they put... Just jump on a Zoom call. No, because you're the SAS and you will hypnotise me with something via the Zoom call, and we'll end up paying you to hurt ourselves. But we're talking about the jump. We had somebody on who was part in the jump the other day, and they got to the final. Or they appeared in the final. Let me put it that way. Do you know why?
Because no one else was available.
Because all the people who made it to the final got injured so much getting to the final, they couldn't be in the final. So the people in the final hadn't taken part in the show at all up until that point.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's madness. One thing I did was, this is nowhere near as hard as the jump or SAS, but I did a wrestling match with Paddy McGuinness for Sport Relief.
Quite punchy.
I know, right? And I thought, I love a challenge, I'll give it a go. And actually doing something that physical on TV, live on TV, was not a fun experience. I didn't enjoy it. So I'm up for marathons and things like that. But anything, I'm out.
So a bit of Strictly, Vassos, you once auditioned for Dancing on Ice, didn't you?
Yeah.
You really did. This is true. There was a point in Vass's career where ITV were interested in him being on their screens for a bit.
I'm sort of pleased I didn't get it because I'd definitely have broken a leg or something.
But did you go for the audition?
Yeah.
Well, you skated?
I skated. It was in Slough or Maidenhead, the ice rink there.
Not Luton.
Jane Torville and Christopher Dean were there.
Didn't make the cut, no?
I don't think I made the cut. I think I didn't make the cut. I think that's how it worked. Okay. I just didn't hear back.
It's often the way, isn't it?
Yeah. Louis Spencer around anyway?
How was Race Across the World, talking of these sort of things? You did that with your mum. Seemed like actually all the fun.
Yeah, I did that with mum. Do you know, it is a lot of fun. It is also, it's coming on the radio to complain. It is really hard because what people forget is you have a camera on you the whole time. So anytime you see something amazing, they're like, oh, tell us about it. How amazing is it, Harry? And so by week 4, you're like, you can't.
Week 4?
I was away for 31 days, and when that was the celebrity version, the normal show they do 8 weeks, and I mean, God, by the time I'd done 4 weeks, I was so desperate to get home. But it's totally genuine. They don't help you. We got dropped off in Marrakesh. Me and my mum, no phones, just cash and a map, and off we went. And yeah,
no agent. No
makeup,
agent,
no PR,
makeup.
no hair and
my
makeup.
Gosh, you poor thing.
No, but honestly,
must have been awful.
No, but I'm suddenly like, it was very exposing. First off, we went to stay with this family in Marrakesh and in the mountains, and there was me and my mum. We were sleeping on these like concrete sort of sofa things, and my mum, amazing woman, but it was a shock for her. There was a hole in the floor for the loo. These 2 boys were watching her get dressed because they'd never met English people before. We were eating this. I mean, obviously, amazing to experience these cultures, but just a real shock. But I think the thing I took from it the most was just the time spent with my mum. Obviously, incredible to go around Europe and see all these beautiful cities, but to have that amount of time with my mum at that age, and also for her it was really cathartic because I left home when I was 17. I was the youngest of 3. She found it really difficult when I suddenly left. In a matter of weeks, I'd left home and school to join a band, when she thought she'd have me for a couple more years, and then suddenly, 20 years on, I was with her for a whole month, uninterrupted, no grandchildren, no one to compete with, and actually one of the best parts was just being on train journeys and bus journeys, and we would just talk about her life, about my life, and she bought this stitching along, cross-stitching tapestry, and I thought, Mum, why have you bought that? But it was the best thing you could have bought because it's so therapeutic, it passed the time, so we would sit there on the train, stitching, chatting.
Love it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Because your mum knows stuff.
My mum knows
and also,
stuff.
if you got a bit hairy, I want my mummy. Sorry, I'm here, darling.
Yeah, she was amazing. What was one of the coolest things was then watching it when it came out. The love for my mum. Yes. The people just loved my mum because she's an incredible woman. She's now been inspired herself. She's been travelling since. She's gone out to India on her own. She's in Australia at the moment. She's booked a trip to Uzbekistan. It's been life-changing for her.
Great. Well, life-changing is what we're here to talk about. Copperfield as well. Copperfield presents Coppertrek begins Saturday, June the 8th. For more info and to donate, head to coppertrek-brecken-beacons.copperfield.org or just look up Copperfield and Coppertrek and it'll all come up because that's how it works nowadays, isn't it? Copperfield is the UK's first and only breast cancer charity for young people. That's its USP. It's so important. They aim to educate, encourage and empower young people to get to know their bodies and check their boobs and their pecs and their chest regularly. This includes delivering nearly 400 school talks and sending over 1 million free text reminders every single year. Well done to Giovanna for making the phone call to get you involved. Well done to you for saying yes. Great to see you again, Harry.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're a top guy. Thank you so much indeed.